Hey, they're doing karaoke, Mark. You should go up there.
No, I'm not drunk enough.
Oh, go on, Mark.
Go on, Mark.
You've got a lovely voice, you have.
Shut up, Gav.
Oh, just get up there.
Alright. This one's for Kirsty, the most beautiful girl in the world. I catch a grenade for you, wrestle a spade for you, drink lemonade for you, 'cause you don't like sugary drinks.
I remember Tom Jones singing up there before he was famous. He did that very song, he did.
Oh, Mark, you're so romantic.
Love you, Kirst. Want anything from a bar?
Oh, Bacardi and Coke, please.
Diet?
No.
Hang on, I need to go for a pee first. Christ, that sounded like Mark.
Quick, see if he needs help.
Everyone, to the sharp cave. Sharp goalie.
Jeff, shut. Actually, well done.
Boys, it is terrible. I only went in there for a slash. All the inhumanity.
Mark, what happened?
Oh, Cursed. Can we just go home? It's too horrible.
To be concluded.
Whoa.
Coming up on the Greg's Pastiche Comedy Podcast today. Things run like clockwork in this week's Lost the Plot.
Sam's game
What?
is Celeblankety-Blank. And he'll have sex with you.
Mark has some golden advice to shower all over you in question mark.
We take a trip up the garden path for a fork in the bush.
We curry favour with the nation in this week's Britain's Favourite.
We talk student pits and oily tits in this week's news.
And Brian and the lads don't find it a piece of piss in our outro sketch.
This week's episode brought to you by the word movie gating. To follow any type of car for any period of time to watch the TV inside. For example, I'm movie gating a minivan because it had my favourite movie playing.
This is Lost the Plot. Wow! In Lost the Plot, the premise is, I was writing a few scripts, I printed them off together, a big breeze came in through the open window. I really should shut that window, but it came in anyway. I couldn't stop it by this point.
That's twice now. That's twice that's happened.
I know. You think I'd learn?
Oh.
It blew my scripts that I just printed off all over the place, and when I tidied them together, the scripts were mixed up and I couldn't make head nor tail of them. So I need Sam and Tom now to help me figure out what these scripts are, okay? And they could come in any form. It could be a book, a film, video game narrative, anything.
Cool.
Right. And there are points for guessing which two scripts I've mixed together and the name of the mixed up scripts.
The title of the story.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Here we go. Despite the fact that humans had left many years ago, Earth remained noisy and bright and a lot more dangerous. Huge tannoy systems blared Beethoven's Ninth, whilst the LCD displays, plastered over walls like billboards, showed nothing but newsreel footage of wars and killing. A crunching of debris under caterpillar tracks forebode the arrival of a robot. A bizarre creation with large binocular eyes covered slightly by a bowler hat. He stopped in the tracks he had made the previous day, his routine remaining largely unchanged, and scanned the peaks of the detritus. His surroundings were familiar, London undoubtedly, but the words he used were not, a mutation of London English and Eastern European languages, where one word had been replaced for another, and most had lost their 21st century meaning. The robots called it sat-nav speak. The tannoys echoed through the wastelands, and without warning several robots appeared simultaneously, apprehensive yet sharp, their optical inputs glinting in the burning sun. The flurry of movements was sleek and pre-programmed, the speed disorientating. After several metallic thuds and the electric snap of wires being yanked out, the robot in the bowler hat was the only one left. He pulled a piece of metal piping out from under some rubble and twirled it merrily as he began to whistle an old 20th century tune that used to be known as I'm Singing in the Rain.
I was wondering where the bowler hat had come from.
Any guesses? Any thoughts?
It's definitely one of them is post-apocalyptic.
1984 and the Terminator?
No.
Yeah, I had 1984, but I wasn't sure how many robots were in that. So maybe not.
Well, that's what I was thinking, the Terminator, 'cause
Yeah, maybe. No, but then he's singing in the rain, one of them.
No.
That's two. I thought it'd be
It's
too
a
easy. Is it something similar? Bowler hat and spinning
No.
and...
The film in question actually, one of the characters sings this during a particularly iconic scene in this film.
Tom's got it.
But you need to, okay. I think it'll be a point for each script and then an extra point for the title. So if you can get one of them, you can get a point. But if you know...
I'm quite lost, if I'm honest.
one of them's a Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
So what's the other one then?
Should I read out the bits where I think...
Yeah, go on.
Right,
Try and...
okay.
So it's Clockwork Orange and...
Okay, yeah. A crunching of debris and the caterpillar tracks forebode the arrival of a robot, a bizarre creation with large binocular eyes, covered slightly by a bowler hat. He stopped in the tracks he had made the previous day, his routine remaining largely unchanged, scanning the peaks of detritus.
Is that Wall-E?
Yeah, there we go.
But it's the binocular eyes and the caterpillar tracks.
Exactly.
That's Wall-E. Wall-E and a Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Hang on. Wall-E and a Clockwork Orange.
It's as simple as it sounds, to be honest.
Clockwork Wall. Orange Wall.
A clock Wally Orange or something?
No, it's just a Clockwork Wally.
Alright.
I told you it was simple.
Clockwork
I'm
Wall-E.
disappointed
I
with
got
that.
closest there with a Clockwork Wall.
Clockwork Wall, yeah, that'll do.
Okay, 2 points to Sam.
Yeah!
Whoa.
Celeblankety-Blank.
Yay!
Blankety-blank, Celeblankety-Blank, blankety-blank. I'm not going to do it. Right, we know the premise of the game. I've looked up some celebrity stories, but I've blanked out certain words. You have to tell me what they are, complete the story. Nice and simple, points on offer. Number 1. Hollywood icon Leonardo DiCaprio seemed to be enjoying his beach holiday so much that he let his blank hang out for all to see.
Whoa.
Leonardo DiCaprio on holiday let his blank hang out for all to see. What was it?
The script to his next blockbuster movie.
Ooh, clever.
Something like that.
It wasn't. It's a lot less clever than that.
Nuts magazine?
No, it wasn't.
Heat?
Oh, is it? His Heat magazine. No,
It's not going to be like what it actually sounds like, is
it's
it?
not what it actually sounds like, but it is a body part.
His ass.
No,
His flab?
I'm going to give you that. It's his belly, but
Whoa.
his belly is looking a little bit podgy of late
Oh.
because he's getting on. I don't know how old he is, 40 something, maybe. But yeah, he's getting a bit flabby. But the press release is officially he's not getting fat. He's getting in shape for his new film, The Great Gatsby.
Oh, God.
Professional radio, right
There we
there.
go.
Don't kill me. Number 2. Actor Ashton Kutcher.
Actor? Really?
Go with it. Has taken to some blighty bashing this week. Saying he will never blank in the UK ever again. Ashton Kutcher will never blank in the UK ever again. What is it?
B?
For movie premiere?
No. What was that one?
B?
Never be in the UK. Unfortunately, that's not the answer.
Holiday?
No.
Work?
No, again, these are all lovely ideas, but no. Unfortunately not. It's something that he did for the first time in the UK.
Eat fish and chips?
Done it loads in America, does it almost every day in
Prank?
America. Never done it in the UK. Something really simple
Act.
that every person over the age of 17, 18 does.
Well, I was going to say breathe, but then you give that age qualification.
Drive.
Drive. Well
Whoa.
done, Will. Point goes there. He will never drive in the UK ever again. This is after he complained about driving in London, saying it was chaos and he couldn't do it, but particularly complained about getting stuck on roundabouts, saying that once you get in, you feel like you're stuck and you just go round in circles and there's no way to get out. It's funny because I had a similar experience watching what happens in Vegas, but whatever he feels. Awful film. Number 3. Pop star Rita Ora showed off some impressive moves this week after receiving a blank in the ring from David Hay. Pop star Rita Ora received a blank in the ring from David Hay. What was it?
I'm just going to go straight out and say cock.
You had to. No, it's not. It's not. Think less about her and more about David Hay.
I don't actually know who David Hay is. I guess he's some sort of boxer. Right.
He's
You tried to
exactly
thump
some
her.
sort of boxer.
You tried to enact something physical upon her and she just flipped him over or something.
No. It was pre.
She flipped him off.
It was pre-planned. You're right. He's a boxer.
Yeah.
So what service could he offer as a boxer to someone who likes to keep fit?
Trainer.
Yeah, a boxing lesson it was.
Right.
I won't give you that because I gave you that. Yes, received a boxing lesson from David Hay. Apparently, David Hay has always wanted to see her box, but she said no, so he gave her a lesson instead. Oh yeah. Right, what are we? 1-0 to Will so far. Not brilliant on the points front, but let's keep going.
No, it's just 1-1.
Is it?
I got DiCaprio's flab.
You know you did get DiCaprio's flab, I'll give you that. Okay, so it's 1-1, all to play for. Number 4. Teen sensation and friend of the show, Justin Bieber. I know he's not actually a friend of the show, but we mention him so much
I know.
that he feels like he's one of us. Ish.
Before you say anything, did he spit on his audience?
No,
Oh,
that
okay.
was another news story, but that's so blown up that I thought you'd get that
Right,
straight away.
yeah.
So no, this is different. Clever thinking. Teen sensation and friend of the show Justin Bieber has had another run-in with the law after some blank was found on his tour bus in Canada.
Marijuana.
Bang on.
There we go.
First guess. So marijuana was found on his tour bus in Canada. Canadian officials have labelled Bieber a disgrace, an embarrassment to the country, and said he should never be allowed back in. Then they boarded the bus and found the drugs, and and it's all kicked off. We love you, Biebs. I'm a believer. I really am. No. Number 5. This one I liked. The set of the new Expendables film, Expendables 3, has become a very awkward place to be after Bruce Willis was blanked by director Sylvester Stallone.
That's actually what happened.
No, that's not actually
what happened.
That's not actually what happened. Bruce Willis was blanked by Sylvester Stallone.
Threatened?
No.
Thrown off the set.
I'm going to give you that. He was sacked. He's been sacked from the Expendables 3 because he was offered $3 million for his role, 4 days' work. Bruce Willis turned it down, saying he wanted $4 million, $1 million a day. And Stallone said, and kicked him off. But reports are suggesting that Willis has not been put off, and he will continue to make more action films, because you know what they say about old habits?
Oh, get out.
Oh, God.
Old habits die hard,
Yeah.
Bruce Willis, come on.
There's the door.
That means that after 5 questions, the winner is Tom, 2-1.
Well, there we go.
It is. I remembered.
Yeah.
Good. So well done, Tom. That was Celeblankety-Blank. Blankety-Blank, blankety-blank. Yeah.
Next up on the Greg's Pastiche Comedy Podcast is Question Mark! Woo!
Whoa.
I'll just go and find him, shall I? I think he's running around outside.
Cool. If you go and grab him, just to remind listeners, this is the part where we bring in our good friend Mark, who answers the letters you send in. He gives you advice, gives you help, sorts your problems out, makes the world a better place.
Alright, guys.
Oh, hello, Mark. Would you say that's true, Mark? That's what you do?
Yeah, I try my hardest to make sure that, like, other people are comfortable, like, my advice I give them helps them out. It doesn't in any way make them feel uncomfortable or anything.
Good. Will's disappeared again?
I can't believe you just heard him. He screamed his head off. He caught his finger in the door and he just had to be rushed to hospital. Back on.
Oh, well,
Probably cleanly cut off. You wouldn't imagine that from a cheap old wooden door.
I know you wouldn't.
But,
it's almost as if he's making it up, you know.
And that is what actually happened.
That's right. Well, I thought to go out to Will, but the show must go on. I've got letters. You've got advice. We need to put these two things together.
I'll try.
To make a radio feature. Let's go. First one says, Dear Mark, could you verify the splash zone rules for my friend who keeps getting beaten up? Regards, A. Shanks.
Well, I don't know the rules too well myself, but from what I remember, there no holding hands, no running, diving, or bombing either.
Mark, not splash land, splash zone. I think he means the urinal rules.
Oh, well. This very thing happened to me just the other day, actually. Yes, this very thing. These rules, they need to be known, because every now and again, like a very sensitive situation occurs at the urinals, and guys really need to know what to do. The first rule is always take the end urinals first. Would you agree with me?
I would
exactly.
definitely.
See. And then a second rule, and this is the most important rule, it's very, very important, right? Is that subsequent pissers must leave the biggest space between themselves and the previous guy, alright? Would you agree with that?
I definitely would.
That's what has to be done. No exceptions, right? And finally, the third rule covers for the fact that if all the remaining spaces may infringe on the space of a pisser already there, then upon seeing that there's no room to leave room, the guy must judge who's most likely to leave first and occupy the space next to that fellow and move down mid-piss, once he leaves. That's the rules. People need to start following them, for the love of Christ.
Right, it's alright, Mark. It's alright.
Oh, one last thing. Never, ever cross the beams. Seriously, one to a urinal, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mark. I'll let me take your mind off it. I've got another letter for you. Says, Dear Mark, I was on holiday in the country with a friend when he said he liked how peaceful it was here away from the city and how different the atmosphere felt, and that he'd like to write a letter about all his feelings whilst the air was clearing his mind. So I punched him in the face and left him in a ditch. Did I do wrong?
No. You did not.
Whoa.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of A Fork in the Bush. Today I'm joined by editor of Backdoor Fun magazine and pot enthusiast Jenny Greenteeth. Hello, Jenny.
Hello, Monty.
Now, last week we were discussing the best time of year to harden off your stiff cocks.
Excuse me?
Plants, Jenny. Your stiff cock plant.
Oh, I see. I've never seen one of those.
Oh, really? Would you like to? I've one right here. I'll just pull it out.
Monty, what are you doing?
I'm just getting it out of its cold frame. I keep it in a cold frame to keep it safe.
I see.
Wouldn't want it getting flaccid now, would we?
Huh, no, I suppose not.
So yes, the best time to harden off a stiff cock would be just before spring, when it's warm enough to leave it out during the day, just as long as you remember to put it somewhere warm and moist at night. So Jenny, what have we got on the show this week?
Well, Monty, we've got David in Surrey on line 2, who says he's been having problems in his garden with some wandering Jews.
Oh dear. Hello, David.
Hello, Monty.
So, wandering Jews, eh? What seems to be the problem?
Well, yes, they've just appeared in my garden right down the bottom, and I'm not sure of the best way to get rid of them.
I've tried removing them myself, but they just keep coming back.
Yes, they are rather persistent. Very strong-willed.
Yes, well, a German friend of mine had the same problem a few years back, and he said to use chemicals to get rid of them. But I don't want to damage the lawn or ruin the soil, so I'm not sure what to do.
Well, I'm afraid it is rather a common problem, and in fact my advice to you would in fact be to contaminate the soil, just in the small area where they keep appearing. If there's one thing a wandering Jew loves, it's a lawn that's rich.
Thank you very much, Monty. I'd just like to say before I go, your advice last week on Sticky Willies was brilliant, and mine is coming along very nicely.
Why, thank you very much, David. How about once it's fully grown, you send us in a picture? That would be lovely. Jenny, what do we have next?
We've got a letter in from Edna in Bishop Stortford. She's having a problem tending to her garden path. She says, Dear Monty, I've got to the point in my life where I'm just too old to bend over and get at those annoying little weeds that grow up around the edges, and they're quite the eyesore. Is there anything I can get to help me sort out those little blighters?
Well, Edna, there is a special tool that deals specifically with undesirables that sprout up around paving stones. The weeds are more difficult to deal with because of the way the earth is compacted underneath the stone, and this means that their root systems grow more bulbous to deal with the dense soil. What you need to get is a low-down hoe. They're readily available on the high street, and quite cheaply too.
I definitely recommend not going for a used hoe because of cross-contamination. You never know where a hoe's been, and you don't want a hoe that's been digging around in an untidy garden because it could be carrying diseases that will harm your plants.
Yes, that's a very good point, Jenny. I myself prefer to go for the more upmarket hoes, because they're a lot more reliable and normally last far longer. Well, I'm afraid that's all for today. Next week we'll be giving you our expert advice on how best to trim your lawn, and my special guest, Alan Titchmarsh, will be giving us a sneaky look at a stinking Christopher. Toodaloo.
It's Britain's favourite. Somebody's got something favourite, and you have to decide whether it's the country or the person who used to present this morning.
You don't even need to explain the game,
No,
huh?
there we go. Sorted. That's what jingles are for. Exposition. This is Britain's favourite. This is the game where Sam and Tom have to individually decide whether the fact I read out is a fact pertaining to Great Britain or Fern Britain. And this week's one, I think, yes, it should be this one, is Britain's favourite soap opera is Coronation Street.
That's
Is that a fact
really hard.
about Great Britain or Fern Britain?
That's really difficult, because it could be both. And Fern Britain, being of This Morning fame, should be contractually obliged to prefer Coronation Street because it's ITV.
But is she contractually
However, is she contractually obliged anymore because she's not there? So does she prefer EastEnders? Or is she a Hollyoaks kind of girl? You don't know. You don't know.
She's got that sauciness about
Yeah.
her. She probably likes the sort of the topless men. Not torsoless. That'd be really weird. Just a head on a pair of legs. That's essentially the women. I would point out, though, that in the Culture magazine, quite often Coronation Street tops viewing figures.
I'm sure
But not all
Corrie
the
has
time.
won more awards than EastEnders. Like soap awards, it's won more best soap awards. And yeah, it does tend to get more viewers, I think. Oh, that's really difficult.
What do you think, Tom? Being a little bit quiet.
I think I'm relatively happy saying it's the country's favourite.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
It was Fern Britain's favourite soap
what?
opera. I couldn't find statistics that said that Coronation Street was Great Britain's favourite soap opera, but I could find an interview she did where she said her favourite was Coronation Street.
So it could be Britain, as in the country's favourite.
It could, but
We've been
statistical proof.
Have we got
There's no
viewing
statistical proof.
Have we got viewing figures?
Cite your
not
sources.
consistent.
Come on.
Not consistent.
Never cite your sources on this game.
Oh, for God's
You
sake.
make it up.
News. Intense. Action. Places. In your face.
Goings on.
News.
Right, this is the news that this week 2 students in Brighton have moved into their student flat to discover that it was previously a massage parlour and escort agency known as Bells, I think. Something like that.
The Brighton Bells.
Brighton Bells. Brighton University students Ben Miller and Rebecca Sims have been turning away members of the public eager to visit the parlour and have even been forced to put a sign on the window to dissuade the parlour's previous clientele. There are people knocking on the door because they don't know it's moved and expecting to just walk in and have a little massage with a happy ending, so to speak.
Would the clients of the Brighton Bells be the Brighton Bellends?
Oh, God.
Just more on the story. The unfortunate duo found a secret windowless basement crammed full of strange velvety costumes, sex toys and high heels. The massage parlour Brighton Bells, which is listed in the Sun's business directory, the Sun it has to be, describes itself as having the best escorts Brighton has to offer, and urges punters to come visit us for a relaxed personal massage with one of our beautiful girls. Its website features scores of semi-naked women in provocative poses. Not exactly hiding itself,
No.
really, is it?
No, that's
Dear.
I suppose there are worse things you can spend your student loan on.
That's true.
I'm just popping downstairs for... I'll be a few minutes.
Yeah, where you going? Just... I'll be back. You look a bit flushed. You've been for a jog? No.
I did think, though, that the Brighton Bells, as a name, sound like a singing trio from the 40s. And they probably are.
Yeah,
Where they
probably.
grind up in one way, they've kept themselves slick in another.
Ew. Dear. Just, I pictured them in the letting agency going through the whole, the contracts and signing it in lovely and, okay, 2 rooms separate and kitchen and with all the bills included. That'll come to £350 a month. Oh, with pleasure. No, with pleasure, that'll be 4. With all the extras on it.
Yeah,
I did wonder as well, does it cost them extra to use the back door? They only go in the front. Can you imagine the advert, though? Just, student flat to rent, 2 rooms, fully furnished with sofa, coffee table, sex swing. just drop it in. How do they advertise something like that? Well, the spokesperson for Pavilion Properties, anyone in Brighton, said staff were not aware of the former tenants' raunchy activities. We've had a number of complaints from the tenants and we're doing everything we can to help them out, they said.
Really?
Everything they can.
So they're trying to give the students a happy ending.
They are trying to give the students a happy ending to the story.
I like how the house, as a thing, has just exchanged one vice for another. It's gone from prostitution to alcoholism.
Yeah, that's true. Dear. I think if entrepreneurial spirit, we're in a recession, reopen it. Do it. I've taken the liberty of coming up with some new names for the rebranding. Brighton Bells has moved on, needs some new names, and normally with these kinds of places, they've got a front that's a bit fake, and actually, but a massage parlour's a bit too obvious. So I've kind of given some ideas to go down some different routes. You could open a film memorabilia shop, just selling film costumes, posters, little trinkets, all that kind of nerdy geeky stuff. You could call it Star Whores. Or I thought you open a sports shop, sticky wickets, cricket stuff. A bookshop, just a nice little bookshop front, nice and innocent, horn piece. Just a music shop, Virgin Megastore. Just open up. And again, just nice little supermarket, Tesco's. Or my favourite one, could you have to open a nice little fast food joint, appeal to the students, Burger King. Oh. We're in a recession. God. We need this. We need the business.
Oh yeah, Jeff, you're going down.
Just like your mum then, goalie. So how are you feeling, Mark?
I don't know, Bri. Still a little shaken.
I just need to give it time.
I know. I just don't understand why he thought it was alright. He could see I looked horrified, and then he pissed up and down the trough, and the streams connected, so to speak. I've got no problem about having a pissing contest, but leave enough space for Christ's sake.
Gav, I don't get what's happened.
Yeah, me either.
Well, boys, it's like this. Well, you see, when a man and a woman... Oh no, that's the wrong story. Bri, why do the splash zone rules exist?
Look, it's like this. When you've got your Percy in your hands, no one else should be around. But that's not always possible in a public toilet, so men give each other as much space as possible. And that space acts as a kind of gentleman's agreement. We both hold in our junk, and the only other time this happens is when a cheeky bit of bishop's choking occurs. So we need to respect that space because... No, I've lost myself there.
It's simple. The splash zone is an unwritten rule as old as public toilets themselves. The Romans followed them, the Greeks followed them, even monkeys with developed societal interaction follow these rules. It's about protection and survival of the species. Every man is in direct competition to every other man. It's the evolutionary thing. The only way he can carry his genes on is if he is in full working order. A man encroaches on your territory when your snake's hanging out your trousers, then that man is posing a massive effing threat to the security of your lineage. Giving as much space as you can is like offering your sword. Giving a gift. It's a gesture that says, hey, I just need to go myself, no problems here, dude. But when a guy stands right next to you, so close he's got a perfect bird's eye view of your tadger, well, he's taking some serious goddamn liberties. He's making a very bold statement about what he thinks of your stature, and such behaviour is unacceptable.
You feeling better, Mark?
Yeah, not bad now, Bri, cheers.
But I don't get a bit about the streams connecting, the beams or whatever.
I can answer that bit.
It's not homo.
Touching the streams is like touching a man.
It's not about being gay.
You gotta make sure that man wants to be touched.
That's not what it is.
Otherwise, you're making a very bold statement.
No, you're not.
For crying out loud, Bri, what is it then?
It's just childish, Gav. Playing with your piss? What's the man that does that? 5 or something?
Oh, I thought it was like,
No, it's not.
It's a bit gay.
Gavin.
It is a bit childish, I suppose. Right, you two. Mark's feeling alright now, isn't he, Mark?
Yeah, much.
So it's how we go on the Xbox.
Oh, Gav!
No, out the back garden.
I was just about to beat him, Gav.
Yeah, like your dad beats him.
Shut up, goalie. Oh, he's getting good at that, isn't he, Jeff? Shut up, Bri.
Jeff, don't tell Bri to shut up.
Yeah, Jeff, shut up.
Shut up, goalie.
Now get out, both of you. Whoa. Thank you for listening on to podcasts. Like us on the Facebooks, follow us, and on Twitter as well if you want, and be subscribings and likings on the YouTubes. Thank you.